Welcome, everyone, to the sneak peek inside Balance Bowls for Busy Pros. This is a program that I've been working on really since kind of mid-year last year. But I'll just quickly say my name's Deborah, and I'm a holistic health coach and a former juice bar owner. But I'm still a part-time plant-based catering company. On occasion, I get calls, and I'll go and do a catering gig with my former company's structure. But I have a 16-year long career working with very busy people, a lot of New Yorkers, and now hundreds of folks through online programs to build wellness practices into their lifestyle so they can improve the overall quality of their lives and really do preventative health care. So I'm passionate about helping people rediscover their relationship with their body, to connect what's possible with what's possible in your own life when you prioritize your health, and to remember why you first began your wellness journey, or if you're just now starting to practice what I think of as a wellness journey, which is a daily practice. What's in store for you, right? Better mood, increased energy, brighter skin, like really having a clearer mind and how you react to the world, which is chaotic, and a body that functions at its best as we age. So that's the goal. It's really preventative healthcare that I offer, a system for preventative healthcare. So my job is to help you to invest in your health on a daily basis so you can return to balance through the power of plants, really as medicine and the healing power of plants to impact your life. So who do I help? I work with mostly women, although men who are watching the replay or this challenge, there's a seat at my table for everyone. I just happen to have mostly female clients. Maybe that's because that's just who I've gravitated towards and vice versa. But these are busy people who really have a lot on their plates, metaphorically, and who are focused on, their success, their career, living a very busy, very full life, raising a family, or fulfilling on a bigger life vision that they've been driven to pursue, but who are not following any kind of plan for nutrition in their daily regimen. So often that's the thing that most quickly falls to the wayside when, job deadlines and kids and other, life goals sort of take over and take the priority. Food is quick to fall to the wayside. And so if you're listening to this and this is you, then you know already that healthy meals, daily hydration, all of this stuff would be key to your success and to, help you feel really good as you're moving through your busy day and going for those goals. But far too often, the whole day gets away from you and you're left feeling overwhelmed and exhausted at the end of the day. You wind up eating whatever's available without really a thought to whether it's providing your body with any kind of fuel. And ultimately, it could be helping you focus, it could be helping you reach those daily goals. You know that, but you just don't have anything, a system in place to actually do it. So it's difficult to, implement that system and put it into place if you don't actually have it going for yourself already and you're already on the hamster wheel of other busy tasks. That's primarily who I wind up working with, who I have a good match with, because I have tools and programs that really support going from that super busy, overwhelmed place in life to implementing daily baby steps of a system. So the problem is that what actually winds up happening on a regular basis is we wake up and we hit the ground running. We have no breakfast at all, or don't eat anything until sometimes afternoon. Maybe, a lot of coffee in the morning or a quick grab and go thing, but there's not like a thought for, am I setting myself up for a successful, slow release energy and fuel throughout my morning? And then quick breaks in the day to grab whatever is, convenient. And this could be a bar or a microwave dish or a leftover, but it's not thoughtful. And then on occasion, when your life is really on point, you get it together to have a beautiful fruit bowl or you make a smoothie, but it's inconsistent. And over time, that lack of a plan and that lack of balance starts to take a toll on your overall health and well-being. So even in the moments when you do start to implement a plan, you get easily overwhelmed by the choices that need to be made in terms of what should you be eating, where should you get it, what's the best quality, how to best prepare it, which of these recipes should I be following, and it's just overwhelming for you. So that overwhelm often leads to a really simple solution, right? Takeout, carry out, frozen, microwaved, processed. So now you're spending money on, plastic carryout containers and delivery fees, only to be getting mediocre tasting food with a fraction of the nutrition that you could get from a home cooked fresh meal. So let's not even get into figuring out what ingredients were in the takeout, what's actually in the processed, pre-made grab and go microwavable dish that you opted for. And, is the ingredients that they choose and that they're using and the way that they process it actually beneficial for you, or is it bad for you? Is it could be deteriorating your health? Could that be the reason that you have headaches? Could that be the reason that you're moving slow, that you're groggy, that you have fog brain? So this is the quick slippery slope that, like millions of Americans living, in this country with this consumer-based quick fix society that we live in are facing. And a fact is that every single year, more than 1 million Americans die from a diet-related disease, like a cardiovascular disease, diabetes, or some type of low-grade degenerative, neurodegenerative disorder or cancer, right? And about a half of American adults currently, right now, in the United States, 117 million individuals, which is half the American population, have one or more preventable chronic illness, which is related to poor quality eating patterns and physical inactivity. So these include cardiovascular disease, they include high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, again, sometimes of cancer, poor bone health. And another large portion of Americans that aren't necessarily managing a chronic illness are just sluggish and moving slowly, and just not living it to their potential, just don't have the energy in their system to actually live. So I don't want to scare anybody. I'm not here to like do fear, mongering. I want to dial it into what actually matters, which is the fact the food that we eat, that we put into our body on a day-to-day basis, is literally one of the most critical factors that impacts our overall wellness, right? So it's the number one lever of our health that we can control that will impact the way that we feel on a given daily basis.
Point out
So,
about it, butchers will sell back out of the 70s into the 60s
oh,
and eventually into the 50s, 70 and 59.
somebody was just talking, so I just put overall mute on everyone. So sorry about that. So, uh, what we eat matters, right? That's what I was saying is the food that we put into our system, it grows our vital organs, it impacts our skin, our hair, our teeth. It impacts our digestive system and what goes on inside of our digestive system, our gut health, our microbiome, which you may have heard that sort of buzzword microbiome, but this literally impacts every other aspect of our health. So yes, our food really, really matters. So the solution is switching over to a primarily plant-based, or what I sometimes call a plant-forward approach to meal planning. So the research over many, many years has has linked plant-based diets to lower rates of heart disease, to lower rates and experiences of type 2 diabetes, um, lower and sometimes reversing cancer as compared with diets high in meat and other animal products, just to be clear. So this is in comparison to diets that are very high in meat products, other animal products, the plant-based diet, which prioritizes whole foods that are grown in their natural packages in nature, um, have lower risk for all of these chronic illnesses. And also, it's been proven that men who eat a vegetarian or a plant-based meal plan live for an average of 10 years longer than people on the standard American diet. And for women, it was about an additional 6 years. So that's pretty significant. Like, can you imagine adding 10 years to your life by changing the way that you eat? But it's not just that they're alive for 10 longer years, it's that they're living in those older years, right? So they're not sick and taking 3 to 4 different medications to manage symptoms of illness. Somebody said this the other day so eloquently, and I wish I had written it down to quote it. It was, Americans are living longer, but we're living sicker, right? So people of my parents' generation, my father passed away when he was 68. Um, there's, various different statistics about this, but our average uh, lifespan has increased significantly. So people in my generation are going to be living into their 80s and 90s, which is really different. And that's for a lot of different reasons, but we're living longer, but we're living sicker. And that really hit me hard. I was like, right, like, what's the purpose of living to be in your 70s or 80s if you're sick and you're taking all kinds of medication and you can't really manage to be mobile or flexible and go out and enjoy this miraculous world that we live in. So this is a tough proposition for most people because changing the way that we eat when you're not already sick is really actually kind of difficult, right? So we refer to this in functional medicine and in health coaching as preventative health care. So in the Western civilization and in America particularly, we have gotten really, really good at diagnostics, right? We target emergency solutions. So we know how to go in and diagnose an illness. We know how to cut out the illness. We're amazing at surgery, surgical tactical solutions, and we're really, really good at medicating people to either maintain, sometimes reverse, and sometimes cure illnesses. So we're really good at problem solving, at diagnosing and solving problems, but sometimes that's too late, right? You wind up in a situation where your body can't ward off whatever the degenerative illness is because we didn't get to it soon enough. What we don't do in America, what we don't do in the West, and they do very well in the East, is prevent the illness in the first place, right? Adapt, prioritize a lifestyle that keeps our body in balance with nature, with the seasons, and with natural sources of fuel that are not going to wear and tear on our system or exacerbate inflammation in the system that leads to chronic illness. So a lot of what we talk about in my practice is inflammation in the system. Inflammation and silent inflammation, you might have heard that term, is the underlying root cause of a lot of what becomes these other various, the wheel of chronic illnesses. So we want to work towards living in a way that we are preventing it in the first place. Or if you're somebody who's already managing symptoms, and there's a lot of low-grade symptoms that lead to these larger exacerbations. Many of us have what we call the everyday aches and pains, but if these can lead to things like arthritis and joint pain and bone degeneration and all kinds of things. Alzheimer's, they're linking now diet to all kinds of degenerative neuro disease. That's like kind of a new area of study in scientific nutrition studies. So it's really fascinating to kind of see the link between diet, poor quality diet, and some of these like older life chronic illnesses that we want to avoid. Okay, so, and I want to give you 3 quick steps that you can take today or within the next 24 hours to get you into action with making a choice that could be the decision that you make to make a lifestyle change. So these are very simple, right? I'm going to tell them to you. You don't have to write this down. I'll pop it in the chat. Step 1 is, if you have not already done this, I created a PDF. I called it the Balance Bowl Formula. I'm hoping you already got this. I just put it in the chat for anybody who's here, and I will put this in the email with the replay for anyone watching it afterwards. This is a balanced bowl formula that I created that is rooted in the balance of nutrition based on the plant-based diet. And if you download that, you just did step 1. Step 2 could not be easier. You're going to look at this formula, and I can pull it up on my screen in a second, and you are going to pick one item, one food that's on that PDF, right? Couldn't be easier. Just pick one. Now, preferably it's already in your refrigerator, right? So if it's a piece of fruit or a vegetable that you already have on hand, or maybe it's a legume, a can of beans, I don't care what it is. I just want you to pick one, not 2, not 3, not 7. We're not making a meal. I just want you to pick one of them. And step 3 is going to be where you get into action. And I want you to eat that item with your next meal. So maybe this is tomorrow and 24 hours from now. Sometime in the next 24 hours, I want you to pick one item off of that list and eat it. That's it. Keep it so simple. Pick one healthy food that is a tiny piece of the spectrum of healthy nutrition and eat it in your next meal. I don't care if you just eat an apple, or if you add a can of beans to your salad, or if you just eat the can of beans with a fork, right? I don't care how you do it. I just want you to pick one healthy food and eat it. Boom, boom, boom. That's a 3-step way to activate your intention. You showed up here, or you're watching the replay, or you joined the challenge because you want to take action, and now you're in action. You're building a scaffolding, right? Every single big change that ever happened in anyone's life began with one simple decision, one tiny action. So this is the power of choosing to take action right now in your life. You don't need to wait to get this done right, or to do it perfectly, or until your refrigerator is great, or until you've, figured out all the perfect recipes. In the challenge, I gave you fully done meal plans with fully done shopping lists. And this is the extreme. That was to show you what the possibility is. But we're talking right now about just taking one tiny, simple action, right? You simply need to start prioritizing taking small, tiny baby steps, literally one tiny bite of food. So I want to just touch upon the negative stakes, right? What happens if you don't begin to prioritize your nutrition? So, best case scenario, you just remain as you are without any life threatening disease. God willing, you don't have any illnesses, and content to feel kind of just run down and achy at the end of the day, maybe managing low grade symptoms of stress and inflammation that we begin to think of just as those everyday aches and pains. And you just, maybe you get through your day, you limp along through your day feeling kind of just like a little bit tired and run down and exhausted, but nothing horrible ever happens to you, right? But you don't really have the energy to go out and do that extra two or three actions that you're going to need to, I don't know, fill in any life dream here, like plan a vacation. Maybe you want to exercise more, but you just don't have the energy or the time built into your schedule. Learn to paint, spend quality time with a friend or a family member. Like all of these things that we do in life that bring us joy and fulfill us require energy and to feel good enough to do it. So how many times have you canceled on a friend because you just didn't feel up to it, because you were just tired at the end of the day, because you just don't have the energy, because you're dealing with something that's just running you down? Like what we eat impacts the ability to feel better in our bodies so that we can have the energy to take those actions that actually fill our heart with joy, fill our mind with exploration and education. Like all of the joyful things in life require a little bit of energy. That's the best case scenario. You're just kind of like managing and getting through. Worst case scenario is that you actually feel the impact of years of poor quality nutrition that is the standard in our country, and it causes a deficit in your critical macronutrients that your body needs to be able to properly function, and it leads to some type of an imbalance, right? That could become silent inflammation, that could lead to chronic illness, that could lead to starting to take a regimen of medication or other support systems. And let me just say, from a personal note, I'm currently in the role of caretaker for an much elder parent who is managing a whole host of health imbalances that are most certainly the result of a lifelong sugar addiction and poor quality nutrition. And I can tell you that it's not pretty to be living in a sick body when you get old. And so I'm not trying to, this is no judgment. I absolutely love my role as caretaker for my elder parent who is not well because of these things. But it's not, I feel sad for this person all the time. So I'm putting that out there as like one of the worst case scenarios, is that in your old age, you don't have the energy to fight off disease, right? Positive stakes, though. Let's flip the script on this. What is on the flip side? What are some of the positive health benefits of adopting a plant-based lifestyle? And I say lifestyle because it's a daily practice. This isn't just like a quick fix. You don't get to eat an apple and then like boom, you're all, cured of any kind of future imbalances. It's an ongoing daily practice. So years of science-backed data tells us that adults who choose the plant-based lifestyle or a plant-forward approach to their meals have, ready for this, lower risk of heart disease, lower cholesterol levels, overall lower incidence of type 2 diabetes across the board, a much lowered risk of cancer. In many cases, they've been able to reverse incidence of cancer showing up in their body, lower or average or neutral healthy body weight, right? Just the right weight. You're not underweight, you're not overweight. You're living in the body that as it naturally can and should be. And then more energy, an abundance of energy to improve mobility, right? To exercise with. So when you exercise, you strengthen and tone muscles that uphold your skeleton as you age. So you've got more mobility and flexibility to move around in your body as you're aging. So these are some of the health benefits of eating plant-based. It's been proven. There's so much documented science on this. There's books and books on it. I have a book reference list if anybody's interested. Would love to share it with you. Some of the stuff that's totally revolutionized my approach to my life and food. So my solution is my sneak peek inside my new course, right? I created what I want to become a system for people who want to transition to this lifestyle. And it's something that I've been working on for the last couple of years. I've been eating plant-based and working on my own system for healthy lifestyle choices for about 15 years. I'm going on about 16 years. And it's just had a tremendous impact on my life, on my husband's life, on our relationship with everyone else. We are happier people, we're healthier people, and we're much more active because we have the energy and the fuel. We also save a ton of money on how we eat. We just save so much money because we prioritize home cooked meals that are really affordable because we have a system in place to do the cooking and to do the prep and all of that. So there's a lot that's possible when you start to put it into practice. And the solution is my course, right? So balanced healthy balanced bowls for busy pros is what I'm calling it. This is a weekly meal prep membership. And essentially it takes the planning and the guesswork out of how to implement this system of preventative healthcare through medicinal plants that you're incorporating into your busy life on a daily basis through meals. So you have life goals and dreams, you have a family that you care about, you want to be living your fullest and enjoying your life. As you age and into your golden years, you want energy, flexibility, mobility, and to prevent that avalanche of physical illnesses that are, lurking around the corner when we don't eat quality nutrition. And my program aims to take that heavy lifting out of your weekly meal planning. So there are plans, right? A meal plan that you can follow similar to the ones that were inside our challenge. Although in the first month of Balanced Bowls, they're much simpler. I've pared these meal plans down to be 6 ingredients or less recipes. The starter plans are all very, very simple. And there's mindset and motivational trainings, there's checklists and planning tools and things like that, and essential nutrition nuggets that you can consume in very bite-sized ways. But the most important aspect of the program, and why I believe it can deliver on my promise to help you create a new healthy habit out of plant-based meal prep, is that the program comes with built-in accountability. So you're invited into a monthly meal prep session with me in the kitchen where we prepare the items that are in a specific plan that we're going to make for that coming week. So you don't have to choose or guess which one is best for you. I pick it, it's curated, it's designed by me, and then we do that meal prep. Inside the plan, you're also automatically granted 2 months of a membership that comes along with this community. So I'm sorry, with the program. So there's a community that's sort of like what we did in Facebook, but it's not on Facebook because so many of my clients don't have Facebook memberships. So I decided to build it off of Facebook, and I actually really love it. Inside that community, there's weekly challenges that teach the baby steps of healthy nutrition. So there might be like this week's challenge is to cook something with, a beet or a daikon radish, make a dish with, carrots in it. Just really simple baby step challenges, but that get you into action, choosing an ingredient and using it. So you're going to continue to learn 1 week at a time, one step at a time, what foods you love by practicing cooking them. There's additional community discussions, there's recipe shares, there's monthly live Q&A. And so you have me as a health coach once a month in a Q&A answering your questions, helping to live coach. There's hot seats in that Q&A. So you come on with me live and you and I discuss what you're struggling with, what you want to work on, what your goal is. And your progress informs everyone else, just the same way everyone else's progress informs you. So you're going to get direct support in this with me as your coach. So over time, you'll begin to love the art of healthy cooking and really build a solid system. And the reason why I turned it into a membership is because I have a 5-6 week, very, very, very in-depth, high-touch plant-based nutrition course called Plant Powered Kitchen. I'm still running that course. It's a much higher ticket investment because it's very in-depth and very thorough. And that course is really for people who need to start from scratch and learn what is it that I'm doing when I'm transitioning from standard American diet to plant-based diet. It's extremely thorough. You get a great education in there. It's a major, in-depth cooking. We meet twice a week in live Zooms. I'm live coaching the whole thing for 6 weeks. It's in a live coaching container. But then once that's done, you're sort of on your own. And I've had every single one of my students last year I ran that course 3 times. Every single one of my students told me that they fell out of practice once the course ended. So that made me feel, I was like, well, that's no good. What do you need? And they said they just need some type of call to action that's ongoing. So I began working on this. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to give you the sneak peek right now. I'm going to try and keep it short. I hope you can see this. So this is the inside of the course. So if you were to join this program, once you make the purchase, right, you're going to automatically get a login. And when you log in, you're going to see what's in front of you on the screen. And once you have this, you are free to navigate this on your own time at your leisure for the rest of your life. Everything that's going to be in the core program, which I will show you in just a moment, is yours to keep. That's never going away. In addition to the course, the main program, which I'm about to show you, you also get invited to the private community. And so that's a separate thing that you get. Let's take a peek around. So over on the left, there's a menu. And it's just simple. Start here. It tells you exactly what to do to begin using the program right away. It gives you a tool that I think is really helpful to start thinking about a broad stroke overview of meal planning. You can learn more about me. And then there's what I call the fundamentals. And inside that, you've got information about nutrients, macrobiotics. And then in here, you've got meal plans. And then you've got a bunch of tools and resources that are like a huge, just deeper dive into how can I supplement all of this. So this is like at your leisure. If you want more, you can dive in here. You can find out, you can download any of these tools and resources and use them. And I've got every checklist you can imagine, and I've got all the, handy printable PDFs. Like that's one of my things is I'm always giving you a printable PDF you can use. But what's more important, I think, is the monthly, you're also going to get invited to a monthly live Q&A and a monthly live prep session. So on the top, there we are. As you can see, there's already meal plans in here. They're all starter level, as I was saying. When you go to navigate to one of these, you're going to get a little description of what it is, why I created it, who it serves, who it's best for. And then you can download the actual meal plan and a prep guide that's going to walk you step by step through how to use this plan. So I know that that's an amazing offer in and of itself, but I really also know from years and years of doing this that what's going to get you to actually take action on this plan is me coming to you week after week inside the community saying, all right, y'all, it's Friday. Download your meal plan for next week. Pick the recipes on that meal plan that you are going to love to try. Maybe you're not doing 3 meals a day. Maybe you're doing 3 meals for the entire week. That is progress. This is not something that you're going to do it's not the whole enchilada all at once. It's baby steps. And I know that. So that's why I created a membership so that week after week, you get to tap in when you're ready. You get to download that meal plan and choose what you're going to work on. And you've got a community doing it with you. Let's go over here. Let's go back to the top. And up here, when you click on categories, you have an easily navigable there's 3 that haven't been published yet. I just am saying that because if you go to your home page up here, you'll scroll down and you'll see 9. There will be 9 altogether, but there's only 6 published. And everything is just here for your convenience. You have a really easily clickable, simple, downloadable, beautiful looking, easy to follow step-by-step meal plans, tools and resources, information, fundamentals. What's not here is if we go back to the main grid, is an additional just bank of recipes that I'm working on uploading. I have so many, and that's why it's not published yet. I've kept it both very simple, and also I want to like offer advanced options for people. And that's it. You can contact me through this link anytime. If you want, I offer free one-on-one consultations that are basically a step towards, if you were somebody who was like, I really want to work with you one-on-one as a health coach, I have very specific dietary needs, or I have a family issue or, a health issue that I want to manage through the approach of holistic coaching, we can work one-on-one together. I do free consultations. So that is the core program in a nutshell. I'm super proud of it. And then the membership, as I mentioned, is also a community. It's so cute, and it's just a really great, like living, breathing community of people working on this lifestyle, this approach to the lifestyle. So that was your sneak peek. I know that this is so personal. Our bodies, our health, there are so many reasons why people don't want to share in a Facebook group. I get that. I understand that. And that's why I tried to be really diplomatic about like pushing people to do things that are just uncomfortable, because this is such an important thing to be doing. So I want this to feel safe. I want people to feel like they can take baby steps. Many people said they didn't want to go on Zoom and turn their cameras on. They're embarrassed about their kitchen. I've had people reach out and say they're managing a health issue. Everyone who's reached out to me that was talking about, having a weight loss goal. People don't want to share that publicly. I'm very sensitive to all of that. And I understand that, the vibrant community isn't always the right forum for people, which is why I offer one-on-one coaching. And that's also why I do the Q&As live, because when people do get brave and come on and share, hey, I'm struggling with this or that, or even just people have told me, I'm just embarrassed that I don't know how to cook at age 50. I'm like, girl or boy, like I'm 48 years old, and I'm so proud to be this energetic and healthy at this age, but it was not an overnight transition. I was very unhealthy when I began this journey. I was living in an unhealthy body and I was on track to be an unhealthy adult. So I understand, like, I had embarrassing skin issues. I had embarrassing weight issues. I lived in that life. I lived that life already. So I'm very sensitive to all of that. And I want to support and hold space for people to have private needs that also can be informed by other people's journey and other people's challenges. And the other thing that's amazing about a membership, but I'm in lots of memberships for my own like life goals. And what I love about it is, like, I don't always feel brave enough to ask the question that I'm struggling with, but I learn from other people. And if you were to implement a new meal plan every single week, let's say you just really take action and you're like, I'm in, I want to do this. Every week I'm going to download a new meal plan on Friday. I'm going to prep over the weekend with Deborah. And then on Monday through Friday or Sunday, I'm eating some of these healthy meals. I want you to be able to have 8 weeks for free inside the membership to practice with me to see if it works for you, right? So that's 2 full months, right? Because yeah, 8 weeks. So sorry, I'll clean up my pitch on that. It was kind of messy. I want it to be working for you. I want you to love it. That's where you get to benefit by getting into action, by getting to practice, by building something alongside of me. Okay, and that's it for me. I'm going to answer any questions that people might have. So if you have a question, come off of mute and ask. I just put the link in the chat for a page that has like all the details in it. You can also email me anytime and ask questions. I'm very accessible. I'm around the rest of this week. And I hope you enjoyed your sneak peek. With all of that said, please email me any questions about the membership, and email me any questions that were not clear about what you get inside the program. Know that it is a beta work in progress, so I will be adding more and more. So not to overwhelm, but to give you a full spectrum of options. And I'm available for Q&A, like really all the way through next week. Awesome. Okay, well, thank you so much for joining me. Have a beautiful rest of your night. Enjoy your dinners if you're eating, if it's dinner time for you as well. And I'll see you guys all inside the Facebook group. Ciao for now.
Bye.